I have not seen my doctor yet. I was actually supposed to see her by now, but she had to reschedule, so I'm going to see her next week. So I do have a few questions for her. Vitamin B12 has been an issue for me in years past. My number is 201 and the normal range is 138 to 652. So I guess I'm on the lower end of that. So I'm wondering if my doctor is going to tell me to try and boost it a bit. I am within the normal ranges here, but sometimes there's a difference between what the lab says is a normal range and what your doctor wants for you for optimal health. Okay, so I have to admit I've been a bit on the lazy side in terms of taking my vitamin D. So my number is 83 and the range that it is saying here, again, if you look in this column, is 75 to 250. So I guess I'm in the lower end of the range. Probably that could stand to be boosted, and I'm almost gonna bet that she's gonna tell me to just keep up with my vitamin D. Hi everyone, I'm Helen. Welcome to my channel. This is week 4 of my questionable life decision to capture my hair loss over a series of a month and keep it in Ziploc bags. So as you may have seen from my last videos, and if you haven't caught up, go ahead and check in the description box. I'll have all previous weeks linked up. Maybe you want to see those. But my most pressing concern last week was what was going on with my sort of vitamin levels. They seemed to be okay. They were kind of maybe not the greatest, and I'm specifically meaning vitamin B12 and vitamin D. And I did have a chance to see my doctor this week, so I will tell you what she said to me and what she thinks I should do. And I have another little story time for you guys as well, so I thought maybe you want to hear that. Of course, you're always welcome to just like go on and skip ahead to the end if you just want to see what happened with week 4. But these are kind of interesting. I don't think you're going to want to miss them. So let's get into it. All you got to do is stay tuned to find out what happened and where we've landed with this. Okay, so if you're new to watching this series, there's just sort of one ground rule, which is no comparisons. I'm totally not making these and like saving my hair in Ziploc bags so that you can feel sort of bad about what's going on with your hair loss. I know that many of you will take out this much hair in a day. And again, I just want to reiterate that this is totally not normal. I'm going through a period of my life, really, where I'm just not losing a lot of hair. And part of this series is just sort of seeing, it's just for fun, really. And also just for me to kind of think about what might be going on. Like, am I doing anything differently? What does my doctor have to say about it? You know, I had the blood test done. Is the new shampoo that I'm using, helping at all? So I saw my wonderful general practitioner, my family doctor, who is just, I adore her. She actually is the one who sent me for a mammogram, age 39, because she said that she's had a lot of patients that had breast cancer at age 40. And guess what? The mammogram picked up breast cancer in me, and I honestly would not have known. I'm one of those people that did not have any symptoms, did not feel any lumps or anything like that. Just like a routine mammogram kind of situation, age 40, picked up breast cancer. And you know, that is actually how I got led to this journey here. And actually on that note, I am just about to hit my 5-year remission mark. So yay! I'm super happy about that. It is a milestone that I'm so lucky to reach. And one of the reasons that I give my time here, because for those of you who have gone through this, for those of you who have not, or maybe just suffering from the hair loss side of it, I just wanted to sort of take you all through my journey and show you the little tips, tricks that I've learned, the medications, you know, Rogaine is one of the ones I use that have been helpful along the way. Yeah, I'm just super happy about that. So, I don't know, give me a like, I guess. I don't know what to say. I didn't really want anything from you. I just wanted to share that piece of information. Okay, so what did my doctor say when I saw her just last week? She said she wants me to up my B12 because I have been genuinely kind of lazy about taking it. So she wasn't thinking my B12 levels, although they're in the sort of okay range, she wanted me to just keep on top of those. And she has, I guess, prescribed, and I'm saying the word prescribed loosely here because I don't have a drug plan that's gonna cover over-the-counter vitamins, but I guess if I did, it would be covered. Just, I've never had a drug plan, unfortunately, that has covered that. As you guys may or may not know, healthcare in Canada is free, but things like drugs very often aren't. You need to have sort of an employer-based sort of health insurance type plan for prescription medication. But anyhow, she wrote it on the prescription form. Not that a pharmacist is gonna like dispense B12 to me or dispense vitamin D. These are things I can just get off the shelf. But she likes to put it on this piece of paper just so I don't have to write it down, really, basically is what it is. So B12, 1,000 micrograms. So that is, I guess, readily available. I've had this dose. You know, you just go to the pharmacy and pick it off the shelf daily for a year. She wants me to take a vitamin D, 2,000 IU daily, and that is the amount that I've heard from many other doctors who've spoken to me about my vitamin D levels. Not that I have ever been super deficient or anything like that, but that's just the daily recommended amount. As I've discussed before, we don't get a lot of sunlight here, so this is not a vitamin D rich environment to be living in. I live in Toronto, Canada. It is gray from October to April, basically. And anyhow, beside the point, even if you do live in a sunny climate, really, doctors, dermatologists really want you to get your vitamin D from supplements because, of course, of the risk of skin cancer, which I take very seriously. My husband actually is also in remission from stage 3 melanoma, which is the most serious and deadly skin cancer. So I will be taking my vitamin D. I would not be taking it probably primarily from the sun. Even if I lived in like Florida or California or somewhere else sunny, I would take a supplement. So she wants me to keep on top of those, which I will do. Let's move on to the story time. I hope you will indulge me. I think you're gonna get a kick out of this. I would not be bringing it up to you guys otherwise. This is kind of cool. And it actually started from this series. One of my viewers, I think in my week 1 or week 2 videos, you can go and check the comments in both of those if you're curious to see, just mentioned what a great result she's had from using Rogaine and using Pure Adore, which is a type of shampoo. And you guys maybe know from watching last week's video and the week before that, that I switched to using the gold version of Pure Adore, and I'm testing that. So stay tuned. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see that. That's going to be out. I'm only about halfway through, so in a few weeks that'll be out for you guys. I did try the blue one, loved. That's maybe too strong. I quite liked the blue one. I thought it was good. I thought it did deliver in helping me sort of, I guess, reduce my hair loss a little bit. I don't know, but again, we're trying to pick through all these different factors that it could be. She's loving it though, so I'm gonna read what she said, and she has a picture too, so pictures are worth 1,000 words, as they say, so let me just pull that up here. She writes, I couldn't attach this on your last YouTube video because you can't, like, if you write comments here on YouTube, you guys know you can't, unfortunately, upload pictures or anything like that. That would be a kind of cool functionality though, wouldn't it? Because I know sometimes people like to just show things on YouTube and you kind of only can write, like type comments, but anyhow. But I wanted to share the difference Rogaine and or Pure Adore, because she's using both, has made on my excessive hair shedding. And if it wasn't for your channel, I never would have taken the leap to try Rogaine. Thank you so much for demystifying it. And I'm so grateful that she used the word demystifying. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm really never trying to encourage anybody to use Rogaine or minoxidil, which is the generic form of Rogaine. I certainly do not get paid. I will never get paid or sponsored by Rogaine. I don't think so. They like some of the things I say, especially about trying to save some money by buying the men's Rogaine instead of buying the women's, because they're the exact same product when it comes to 5% foam. She writes, this is after a single shower. The excessive hair loss is something I've had all my life. I don't know how I didn't have bald spots, just thin hair. So check it out. She has here a much reduced, like a before and after shot. She's got very little hair loss getting trapped in her drain. Oh my God, I'm so happy for her, but wait, it gets better. So again, you can read through her original comments, but she had also told me that she convinced her brother to start using Rogaine because he suffers from what I guess, I don't think she wrote it here, but what appears to be sort of pretty typical male hair loss, which is they get a lot of thinning through here to the point where it's see-through and you can see their scalp. But check this out, okay? Check this out. This is my brother I mentioned on your YouTube channel after only 4 months. Wow. You've really changed lives with your channel. Hashtag best sister ever. So she's the best sister ever. That's not about me. Like, we're not related. She's talking about herself because she got her brother to use it and he's having this amazing result. Look, I can't even get over this. The thing to take away though here, and the thing I want you to remember is that Rogaine works a little differently for men. And as you can see, they can have a very, very, very good result from it. It works for men in a way I think that, and I'm totally not qualified to say this, this is just from my observations over the years, it seems to work for men much better than it does for women. Women, including myself, seem to get a really good boost, maybe fill in, a bit. They don't tend to get their old hair back. But yeah, for men, it can be a really, really effective treatment, as you can see here. This is maybe the most dramatic photo I've ever had from anybody, but I think even my own photos are actually pretty good if I look at my before and after. Super thankful for that viewer contacting me. Like, that is just such a wonderful affirmation of what I do here, because again, I don't get paid anything. Rogaine has never sponsored me, and like I said, don't think that they will. I don't take any advertising dollars from anything sketchy that I perceive to be something that's shady. The other thing I just want to talk about briefly here, because I think it's worth mentioning, because I have lots of new people here. Thank you very much for joining me on this journey. A lot of you want to know what kind of hair loss I have, and I have a video about that where I sort of talk about why my case is different. This is why I'm never trying to say, if you have this, do this, because my situation is different from yours. Mine is quite complicated. You've heard me talk about my breast cancer. I'm on different kinds of medications. In fact, speaking of medications, this is where things kind of get interesting for me at this juncture in my channel. Whenever I think, oh, am I done with hair loss? Something happens in my world to just be like, So anyhow, check out that video where I talk about the hair loss I have, but I've got another anecdote for you, and I'll keep this one quick, but it is a little bit on the shocking side. My oncologist called me, gonna say it's a couple weeks ago now. Let me tell you, I'm almost at remission, and the last thing you ever wanna get is a phone call from your oncologist just before the Christmas holidays, okay? I hadn't had any scans done or anything like that, or even any blood tests, so I wasn't too worried, but one thing I did have was a bone density test. Because the kind of medications I'm on, we have to keep checking on my bone density because osteoporosis is a risk for me. Like, I went into early menopause, I take things that are not like great in terms of like my estrogen, I don't have the estrogen to help with my bones. I'm not an expert in this field, but let me just tell you, I was not hoping to get a call from my oncologist that day. She has never called me on the phone in 5 years. Like, we have communicated through her sort of nurse and her assistant and stuff like that. She has never called me directly. So when I heard her voice, let me tell you, it put the fear of everything into me at that moment. But anyhow, it's okay. She just called me to tell me I'd be switching from my drug exemestane to tamoxifen in the new year. And tamoxifen is a very common drug used for either women who are dealing with breast cancer or who are hoping to prevent it with this drug. One of the side effects apparently is hair loss. So here we go again. Maybe, I don't know. Let's just keep our fingers crossed. I'm gonna keep up with my routine. If the tamoxifen starts causing my hair loss, you know I'll be documenting it here, and I'm just laughing because if you don't laugh, sometimes you will cry. So that's where we are. I am on the precipice of very good news, which is 5 years. I'm at the remission mark and the precipice of starting a different drug because, oh, and I forgot to put this together. The exemestane apparently may be causing my spine density to deteriorate. Apparently my femurs are good, but my spine is not looking great. And that was the gift I did not need this time of year, but here we are. So apparently the tamoxifen can help or hopefully just not make the situation worsen, because that's not what we want when it comes to bone health. So very eventful couple weeks for me with the whole doctor's news, things that they want me to do and take, but I am doing well. But all that to say, I'm doing really well. I'm healthy. I feel good. Those pieces of information were kind of news to me because I don't feel any different. I feel great. Okay, so enough chatty chat. Let's get on to looking at the bag of hair loss for week 4. Here we go. Let me grab it. Okay, here we are. I don't know, I feel like you especially can't see that, but very, very little. Okay, that was a whole week's worth. I can hardly believe it's that little. I mean, let me get the white paper. Oh, I'll just use this. Most days of my life, this is how much I have on a daily basis. This is so little. Is it the newer version, the professional version of the Pure Adore? I really don't know. This is the least that I've had that I can remember, but of course I don't ever trap it in bags. So kind of cool though, right? This is definitely, I think, the least that I've had over the 4 weeks that we've been testing here. So it's even less than when I started. Let's grab the iPhone and we will do a comparisies and see how that looks. Okay, here we are, week 4. Okay, hope you can see that good. And then here we are, week 3. So that was last week. I feel like that is, no, actually, okay, what do you guys think? I think maybe this is comparable. It's just this is spread out in a different pattern. I can't even believe that, what am I doing with my life? I can't even believe that I'm keeping this stuff in Ziploc bags, but I mean, here we are, in for a penny, in for a pound, or whatever they say. So because I know it's shiny, I'm just kind of struggling to get this in a way that you can see it. Okay, week 3, week 4, but maybe I am wrong, and that's why it's good to have them all and maybe compare them all together. Let's do the wide view. I actually have to step back here, let's see. Okay, that was week 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now that I think of it, let me know, week 2 looks like actually it was the least. I was wrong, I thought that this was the least, but let's just do a switcher. Let's get this out of the way. Oh my gosh, yeah, week 2, definitely less than week 4. Well, there you go. Let's put week 3 back in the mix. So there we are, 4 weeks of collected hair loss. I was really diligent about collecting this carefully. You know, I got everything that was off my brush, everything that came off my fingers with styling. I did not collect hair that fell on the floor because I felt that that was just a step too far. But my husband said definitely I've had less hair because one of the places it falls is on the stairs in our house, or it gets swept down there. So he's noticed a lot less of my disgusting hair falling everywhere. That's so interesting. So week 2 actually was my week of the least hair loss, and I thought it was this week. It just goes to show you perception is not always reality, right? I could have honestly sworn that I had the least this week. Wrong. It was actually a couple weeks ago. That's pretty cool. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. I hope that this was interesting. Again, just for entertainment purposes. I know that you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, that's so little hair loss. And it is. This isn't regular hair loss for me either. So keep watching as we carry on. Then one of the next videos you can expect from me is the Purador Professional version. I should have that out in a couple weeks. And of course, you will catch me here with regular videos. Thank you so much for subscribing if you've done that. And if you haven't, consider doing so. I hope you all have a really wonderful, happy, healthy 2022. I can't even believe I'm saying that year. It feels like I am living in the Matrix or something like that. Wishing you all the very best for the new year. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.